Hi guys, it's Crystal, the founder of Bold Culture Beauty, a two-time award-winning blog and your first stop when you're looking to simplify your natural hair routine. Today, we're taking a closer look at heat damage. Now, hair damage can come in several different forms. Heat damage just happens to be one that is very concerning for naturals. Heat damage will often have naturals seeking alternative, heatless methods to manage their hair. And while the decision to not use heat is all your own, it is very important to be informed when deciding what methods and practices might be right for you. So if you're considering the occasional blowout or silk press, or you're trying to determine if simple things like dryers or diffusers might be right for you to incorporate into your natural hair routine, well, you're in the right spot. Today, we're taking a closer look at heat damage, simple ways that you can prevent it, and some simple steps that you might be able to take if your hair is damaged. So grab a friend and grab a pen and let's take a closer look at heat damage. Okay, so let's take a closer look at direct versus indirect heat. Direct heat is considered harsh because it is when the heat is applied directly to the hair using tools like flat irons, straightening combs, curling irons, and even dryers. Indirect heat is considered to be safer because the heat is not applied directly to the hair but rather circulates around the hair. And it is applied to the hair using tools like diffusers, steamers, thermal caps, and hooded dryers. Now, all of this matters because heat has the ability to disrupt the bonds in our hair and change the structure and appearance and texture of our hair. So when heat is applied directly to the hair, it will break the disulfide bonds that our hair is made of and cause our texture to be altered. Now, the extent of this disruption and how much our texture is altered depends on whether the heat is direct or indirect, how high the heat setting is, how frequently the heat is applied, and generally the overall health of our hair. Indirect heat is typically considered to be safe and doesn't put your hair at risk of any significant damage. So practices like using a steamer, a diffuser, sitting under a hooded dryer, and even using a thermal cap are often considered to be safe to be incorporated into your hair care routines. On the other hand, direct heat practices can put your hair at an increased risk for damage and to alter your hair texture. If you're using a low heat setting with the proper tools and a heat protectant, you usually do not run a significant risk for any damage or major altering of your hair texture. However, when using higher heat settings, especially those over 400 degrees, we put our hair at risk for permanent damage and for the structure and texture of our hair to be permanently altered. Now, some things to consider if you're planning on adding heat or when preparing to add heat is one, the overall health of your hair. You do want to make sure that you are continually incorporating healthy practices into your hair care routine to ensure that your hair is its healthiest when you're applying heat. You also want to make sure that your heat settings are generally below 400 degrees, that you aren't frequently passing that heat over your hair, and also that you're using a heat protectant. If you're planning to go to a stylist, feel free to ask questions about their heat settings, if they're using heat protectants, and proper steps that you could take to ensure that your hair is its healthiest when preparing to add heat. Now, you're probably wondering, what should I do if my hair is damaged? And the truth is, unfortunately, there's no magic fixes that you can use to repair your hair once it has been permanently damaged by heat. If you're lucky, depending on where the damage occurs along your hair strand, you may be able to grow it out and get frequent trims. Or the best course of action, especially if the heat damage is significant, is to cut it off and start fresh. Now, heat does not have to be your hair's enemy, and the occasional silk press or blowout is not inherently damaging to the hair. We just have to make sure that we're being mindful of the appropriate precautions and that our hair is healthy when planning to apply heat. Well guys, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And for more great tips on ways to simplify your hair care routine and get the most out of your natural hair journey, make sure you head over to Kulture.com. And while you're there, check out our latest digital tools, all designed to help you see and learn how to make natural hair care easier. And until next week, go boldly.